If you ain't listening to Sam C Radio, you ain't listening. You ain't listening. If you ain't listening to Sam C Radio, you ain't listening. You ain't listening.
Yes, yes, yes. We're here live with JT and my man Frank Leghee. Leghee, is it Leghee?
Everybody?
Leghee, that's what's up. Yes, sir.
Leghee. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, man. We want to talk about some things and also talk about your project. You got a project, I believe. But before we get into the project, let's talk about some things that came up. I think sometime early this week, I was on your Facebook page and something caught my attention. And I just, I had to call you and see what was going on. So let's let the people know first. Let's talk about that first and see what happens from there.
Yeah, just
tell us a little bit about what happened this week. It was early this week, right? Or May 1st?
Well, it was actually May 1st, last Friday, and then I went again on Wednesday. May 1st is when I went and I showed them my ID. I work for UPS, by the way. That says essential worker. I've been there for 5 years. Gotcha. We ship medicine for Merck. We ship medicine for various different pharmaceutical companies that has to do with even Jimmy Carter's cancer medicine that, we ship that. Anyway, long story short, these people know us. We've come through McDonald's many times. So I said, let me just go over and just, I heard on the radio about where McDonald's was thanking all of the first responders and healthcare workers for being, for being on the front line. I've been doing it since March 14th around that time. Been going like every day, whereas everybody's been home and doing whatever, my wife and my daughter, whatever. I've been going to work, risking, I don't know what I'm bringing home. My wife has lupus. And I got to, I don't want to bring that home to her. That's an autoimmune disease, So long story short, I went in there, man, and the lady looked at me and said, no, this is not for you. It's for firefighters and doctors. And I said, ma'am, but it said healthcare workers. I'm a healthcare worker. And I showed them on the side of my sleeve, it said healthcare worker, healthcare. And she still said, no, you're not getting it. I said, wow, and it was starting to be a big back and forth thing. And I let it alone. I said, listen, I'm not that desperate for a meal, but you did advertise that on TV and everywhere else. And she said, well, no, sir, this is not for you. I said, okay, cool. I went to work this Wednesday. One of the young guys, he's a Puerto Rican guy. He said to me, no, a girl walked up and said, Frank, you're going to be mad. I said, well, what's going on? One of the guys from the job just went and he got the meal. He got a free meal. Whoa. And then when the other lady said, I got a free meal too, Frank. I'm like, what's up with that? So I went back there myself. They turned me down again. And I said, is it because is it skin color? What's going on? Because I said, the lady that told me that was white and the other guy was Latin. You guys everybody in here is Latin. Is this kind of discrimination or something? No, it's just that this is not for it's not for it's for healthcare workers, but you're not a health. I said, I am, ma'am. So it became a back and forth match again. She said, tell you what, come on in here, I'm gonna give it to you this time. And she gave me a Happy Meal.
Wow. That's crazy.
Like, my thing about that is, in light of what just happened with the dude jogging, and he wasn't doing nothing,
I heard about that
you know what
too.
I'm saying? All that happened. I'm 68 years old. I grew up in the 60s where it was some rough times. I've seen some rough times, and I'm pretty much scarred from the times of the 60s. I'm not gonna lie, but I made it this far, and we do what we do with business and everything. So it made me it just gave me a flashback of I felt discriminated. It was like selective discrimination. So I needed help with understanding why you gave it to my other coworkers and you didn't give it to me.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
That don't even sound right. You
know what? And again, I work for UPS. I've been doing it for 5 years. I've been doing music for 54 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Ooh. So for me to get into this little world of working and everything, it's been a journey. Yeah. So yeah.
Man, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah. But for me, my sisters, they got on and they were trying to, talking to me about it, and they were trying to explain to me that, well, maybe it's because, they were trying to give me every reason why that I was denied, and the other people, well, Frank, they were only talking about firefighters and doctors. I get that. Yeah. I saw the letter for that, but I showed them a letter where I'm an essential worker, and that if the police stopped me, anybody like that, they would let me go and go past, because I'm authorized to be on the street. I'm authorized to do what I'm doing. So right. And then, I'm going every day risking my health and my family's health to service the community.
Right.
I felt like, that was kind of rough, man. I really didn't feel good about that. But again, I'm not the type I'm not looking for a free ride or anything like that. I'm not. It's just that for me, it was the principle of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's my take on that, man. I'm just here. My music is where I'm focused on. But that situation really kind of threw me off. And then based on all this other stuff that's going on, they're saying we're all in this together. I want to feel that, but with that, McDonald's didn't make me feel that way. They didn't make me feel like we're in that together.
I can see it.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Right, that's all right. Yeah. Anything you want to say about that, Jay? Sound like you?
Nah, man, that's a crazy story, man. That's not cool at all. But it still goes on. It's just, I mean, some of it is behind the scene, and a lot of it, it's not even cared. It's up front. So, I mean,
right.
Yes.
I mean, how would you have? Okay, you get it. Like they said, doctors, firefighters, nurses. That I get that. I'm not. And I wasn't trying to come in and saying I was. I showed them my badge and I showed them what I was. So if they would have told me from the order line from the get-go, no, sir, this is not what you do. This is not for you. If you want to pay, cool, but this is for them. I would have been good. But they went on, took the order, got to the first window, and I showed them my badge. Went to the second window to pick the meal up, and they called a manager to the window and said, no, nah.
Wow.
I'm like, huh?
Yes.
What? I got it on live. I said, ma'am, you're on Facebook Live right now.
Oh, man. Whoa.
Cut the camera off. Cut it off right now. I'm not cutting nothing off. I said, why am I not getting this meal? I said, it's not like I'm not begging or anything like that, but I mean, this is something that you advertise. Yeah, but you don't get it. It's for doctors and that. I said, I get that, but you're telling me that I'm a healthcare worker. I'm not like just a McDonald's worker or da. Because she's saying, well, we work at McDonald's. We're essential too. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. What do you think? Because I'm trying.
What do you think, Jay?
Hey, man, I gave my thoughts. I think, I mean, that's unfortunate. That's the word I'm gonna use. Unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate, but ain't much you can do about it. So I don't know. That's my take on it. But
well, my wife told me I should have called corporate and complained about it, but it's not that. It wasn't that kind of thing where I was like trying to make somebody lose their job or whatever.
Right. I understand
something. And when they advertised it, I went to check it out to see if that was what it was. I said, I don't even go to McDonald's like that all the time.
Right.
But I said, forgot me. If I had been like a real deep McDonald's fan, I could get it. But man, I went there like just saying, okay, I'm gonna just go, all right, let me see. And this is what I got. So I said, okay, you won't see me again for another 2 or 3 months. So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, other than that, man,
interesting story.
I'm worried about when they call us back to go back, because I do a lot of corporate weddings and I do a lot of other stuff. I'm wondering how they're gonna deal with us. How are we gonna do these jobs now? With all this stuff, social distancing, and everything. That's a whole nother subject, you know. So anyway.
Somebody just said it's because you're a black man, period.
Thank you.
Pretty,
you know
that's what they just said. That's the comment that you just.
That lady looked at me. She just automatically, I could see it. You know, I know. You know, we know rejection. You know when somebody's getting ready to reject you. And when I pull up to that window, and that lady looked at me and she said, "Let me see your badge again." And I showed her the badge. She said, no. I said, "Huh?"
Wow.
I felt like I was like trying to sneak in a movie or something.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
So,
I hear you, Freedom.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Hey, what's up, Stasia? Couple people.
Yeah, a couple people chiming in. So
yeah,
that's what's up. You know, so Sam, basically, your audience is mostly gospel or
no, my audience is everybody because they say Jesus loves everybody. But nah, we speak to everybody, man. The gospel, the mainstream, the rocks, whoever. Black, white, purple, blue. We all over.
I hear you.
We all over.
I hear you.
But
well, actually, I know people. I would have loved to tell a lot of people in Tokyo. You know, I was over there for 20 years.
Wow. Yeah, let's talk a bit about your career and what you've done because personally, you told me that you've been in Japan and you toured there. So let's talk a little bit about that before we get into your single because I want the people to hear what you got. I like what you got.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Started in '94. We went up in Tokyo with a group out of Philly.
Okay.
And we went over there.
First of all, hold on a second. How did that come about? How did you even get invited to Tokyo? Let's talk about that.
We had a booking agent out of New Jersey. I worked with
my hometown,
Philadelphia. Oh, Philly?
Okay. Yeah, I'm from Jersey, Norton, Jersey. Brick City, baby.
So the group was out of North Philly. And we used to work at Trump Plaza, and we worked Caesar's Palace at Atlantic City. With a group called Tiamo.
Okay.
And we did that, like we did that, and we did 3 years on a Disney boat for 3 years.
Okay.
We toured and we did Legends in Concert with John Stewart. I did Prince. I used to imitate Prince, Marvin Gaye. I used to do Little Richard, a little everybody. So and I had another female where we would do duets together. It was she did Diana Ross. We had a big show, man. We had for 3 years, and one day the ship caught on fire, and they wanted to use the equipment. The guys didn't want them to use the equipment, so when we got back to ashore, they fired us.
Oh.
So what happened is we called the agent. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, but the guys didn't want them to use the equipment to finish the shows because we had there was a show band. All the show band's equipment got burned up while we were out at sea. And so they said, well, the show has to still go on. And do you guys mind if we use your equipment? And well, the other guys in my band said, no, unless you're going to rent it from us. And they said, no, well, you know, when we got back, they fired us. So we were like out of work for like about a month. Got in contact with our agent. The agent said, we have a job in Tokyo. You guys want to go over to Tokyo for like 5 months or whatever? And just it'll be a reggae club. You'll be doing reggae music. It'll be it's kind of a teen. It was like they were like about 19 teens, kind of a teenage joint. Got to Tokyo, man. I saw these Japanese dudes with blonde dreads and dudes in Roppongi. It was like walking into Times Square. I used to live in New York too. So when I walked into Roppongi, Tokyo, Japan, it looked like mini New York. I mean, it was like
Chinatown. Little Chinatown.
Everybody it was hot, man. But I hated it. And I didn't like it because I didn't like the food. I didn't like the vibe. I didn't like nothing. And I can tell you right now, if I had my way, I would be buried there. I love Tokyo.
Wow.
So what did you eat? I mean, you didn't like nothing. So what you eat?
Man, when I first got there, they you know, I just didn't like how they fried their chicken. I didn't like none of that. You know, we used to say, man, this is unethical, man. What's going on? What kind of food these people got here? Man, I love sushi now. I love sushi. I love yakisoba, ramen. I speak fluent Japanese, you know. So, domo arigatou gozaimasu. Minasan domo watashi no Frank desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Sumimasen.
All right now. All I know is meow. Meow.
What's up? That's what's
Can
up.
I talk to you?
Yeah. Nihongo daijoubu. So
okay. You say I'm trying. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm playing, man. I'm being silly.
So the group that I went with again is Tiamo, which was headed by Tony Giles and Penny. Penny, it was a husband and wife team. We went over there and we worked in Tokyo for 3 months, and they love what we did. You know, I met the Yokozuna, which is the sumo wrestlers, those big dudes, Akibono, all those guys like that. This was the only American that ever beat a Japanese in sumo wrestling. He was an American that became the sumo, was the champion of sumo wrestling. They hated that. Because that's a tradition. That's a secret. Those are like gods. They treat them like they gods. Wow. Dudes would walk in the club and they would clear up area out and give them anything they wanted, man. You know. Wow. So and then they liked us, so it was a good thing. Long story short, we did that. We went on to Sendai, which was a northern part of Tokyo. That's where the tsunami hit. Up there in the area of Tokyo, Fukushima, in that area. And but when we went up there, we got to meet the people, and we worked for like another 5 months. They loved us. The contract ended. Went to Tokyo, went to China, came back. I decided I didn't want to go back to America, and that was in 1996.
Wow.
I said, I'm not going back. I said, what am I going back to America for? So I took a chance based on just my talent and God and my faith. I stepped out on faith for real because I had nothing to gain, nothing to lose. Went back there, man. Got a job making $1,000 a week after about 3 months later of just sleeping on the floor, doing all kind of singing jobs or whatever. Eventually, I worked my way up. So I was making $1,000 a week, had my own apartment paid for by them, and went on and on until I got my CDs, and it just became one of the most blessed times of my life. It started
so that
I hated it in the beginning, and it turned out to be one of this is where I met my wife that I've been married now for 22 years.
That's what's up.
Wow. Congratulations.
It's been 20. I've been home since 2014. We were in Japan in 94. So that's been 22 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So we got married in 1998. She was a singer, one of my singers. She is now an apostle. My wife is an apostle. But when she was, so she's the one that, the reason that I know you is because she told me about your event that you had. That event, you were a judge where they were judging other gospel singers. And
right, yeah. Right.
And that's how I met you. You know.
Yeah, I remember.
So
I remember.
I've been back home for 5 years.
And I appreciate you being persistent as well.
Yeah. Man, listen, when I was in Tokyo, I worked with Orlando Bloom. I worked with some of the biggest stars. I worked with Stevie Wonder. Stevie would come on stage. I sung with Stevie. Temptations.
Wow.
I was one of the drifters. When they would come in town and one of the guys got sick. I learned the routine, the steps, the singing, everything in 1 and 2 rehearsals. And we did the show that night.
It's beautiful.
So I've been doing this thing, man, for years, man. I love R&B music. I came up on R&B, but gospel music, my wife gave me a challenge one day. She said, you don't know about no gospel. What you know about gospel? My wife, she clowned me, man. She said, what you know about? Because she met me singing R&B, so she just thought, ain't no way you gonna do no gospel album. Well, my brother, Uwe Collins, Boosie's son, came into town. I got to know him.
Right.
He collaborated with me, and we came up with a 18-song CD called My Life, which is on iTunes right now.
Okay.
And that I sold about 20,000 copies of that. It was on the radio, on the bass.
Wow.
I opened shows for anybody came into Japan. You know, it's just that in Japan, it's a real closed door situation where if you big over there, nobody in the world is gonna really know it. But they keep the money inside Japan.
Wow.
So they don't do the tours and all that over in America. You ever heard of a Japanese artist that got made it big in America, other than Hiroshima or what's the other guy? It was one other guy that sings real well, Kubota. Those are only two that ever did anything. Because what they do, they have their own world, their music, and they dare not. And I'm sorry to say this, but concerning blacks or anybody that can really do, they not getting ready to let us get up there and out, and they'll learn from us. They'll let us do their background,
right?
But getting up there being the name number one act, no, that's not gonna happen in Tokyo. In Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, if you make
teaching me something.
Like, say, what's that?
I say you teaching me something. You teaching me something about Tokyo.
If you make it big over there, if you make it big over here and go over there, they roll out the red carpet for you. But if you're over there and you black, you can be a background singer for the big artists. You can go in there and make $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 writing a song for them. You can go in there and produce and sell them your catalog for $800,000. Yeah, and I'm serious. They pay good money for whatever they want, but you're not getting ready to be a headline. I don't know one headline, and I know some of the best singers. I've sung with some of the best singers in the world that has been over there. I used to hang out with Chaka Khan. I used to hang out with Prince. Who used to come over there a lot? Nathan, James Ingram, late James Ingram. He and I got up on stage with him, hung out with him. Temptations would come in town. I get up on stage with them, sing My Girl, man. I mean, I did stuff that I could only dream. You know what I'm saying? Because we were like, I was in a situation. We're the only blacks, in the area. So whenever blacks would come into town, they would look for the clubs where they would come and they could sit in or enjoy after they do their show. So I happen to be the entertainment, in Nagoya or Tokyo. And this is how we got the opportunity to perform with some of the world's best, man. Macy Gray, Aerosmith, Lionel Richie, Joe. Let's hang out with Joe, So I would, in America, never, because we are all so talented that, it's a political thing. It's like who you know, and that's how you get to kind of be with those people. Other than that, you ain't getting ready to be with them,
Right.
So back in America, and, long story short, the reason I'm back in America is my wife has lupus, and I had been in Tokyo for 20 years, and she came over during the time when they had the tsunami, and we did a gospel show. She's a preacher as well; she can preach. But we started doing gospel, and so we were invited to go to Fukushima and raise money to help the people that had just had that tsunami, and that nuclear reactor had just cracked, and it was a nuclear cloud over that city. Well, my wife went outside, and we were starting to want to walk just to go out and take a look. She went home 3 to 4 months later, and she started complaining about dizzy and everything, and found out she had lupus. So that radiation triggered her lupus.
Wow.
And that was in 2012. Yeah. So I decided to come back home in 2014. I had money saved, but I had to look for me a job after a while, because after a while, that little money, even though it was a bunch of money in the beginning, it just did not last, because in America, it's a whole different story here,
Yeah, that's understanding.
So
America not cheap.
So I decided. So long story short, I got with a group called Papa Soul, which is a group guys. They do corporate weddings. His name is Sherrod Taylor. Work over at Crossover Studios. I don't know if you heard of Crossover Studios.
I'm familiar with
over
Crossover. Yeah, I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah. So Tony Taylor, Sherrod Taylor, those guys, they're brothers. They run Crossover. We got a group. He had a band called. Has a band called Papa Soul. I'm the lead singer of Papa Soul. We got two other young ladies that sing with us, Brittany and Evelyn. Her name is one is Kathy B, and one is Brittany and Sherrod. We're the forefront people. So I've been doing corporate work, man, and I just said, look, I got to get back to the mainstream. So this is why I started recording again. I found Alfreda Gerald. I don't know if you heard of her, Alfreda Gerald. And Leon Daniels. Them two. This is what I'm doing now. And that song, Because You, my brother Garrison Davis and his son, which is 19 years old, they went and did the music for that song.
Okay.
And we went in the studio. This guy's name is Sam Haywood. I don't know if you know Sam Haygood. Do you know Sam Haygood?
Not quite. You Jay?
Sam, what was the last name?
He's a musician.
Oh, nah, I heard a lot of Sams. I can't catch the last name not hitting on. So, yeah, I'm not familiar with that last part, the last name.
Yeah, Sam Haygood is he's a musician here. He's a keyboard player. Garrett, he's a friend of Garrison. So they invited me to come over and do this work there, and we have been recording over there ever since. This song, Because You, we went and finished the mix, did everything on it, and I got my brother Leon Daniels. That's the brother that's doing all the riffing, sounding like Charlie.
Oh, really?
That's my boy. Yeah, that's my boy, man.
Well, let's get it from the beginning. Get it from the beginning, Jay. Let's play it a little bit for people to hear a little bit.
We're gonna play a little bit of it because the internet is chopping up right now. So we'll see how it goes.
Little thunderstorm going on.
Yeah.
Maybe I should cut. Maybe I should cut my volume down a little bit or something. I don't know.
It's not affecting the internet on this end.
You are Alpha.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, the internet.
Yeah, so my thing is, my next song is called The 91st Psalm.
Oh yeah.
It's about protection. And 121st, which is about where your help. You look to the hills when cometh your help. Right. And it comes from the Lord. We got to realize that everything that we're going through right now, we got to look to the hills. Look to where your help comes from. Stop trying to think that we can, this cold, all the stuff that's going on. You know, we worry whether I'm 68 years old. I'm like, really like, wow.
Wow, you look good for 68, man. You look real good for 68. I wouldn't have been able to guess that.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I look, and then I dance, man. I do Bruno Mars. I do all that.
That's what's up.
Man, my show is like, I don't want to like, I'm like, but I'm confident that I can stand up with anybody, man. Anybody that's a professional. Luther, as a matter of fact, I used to do block parties with Luther in Brooklyn when he was just Luther.
Wow.
Name of the song, is it Because of You? Name the song Because of You, right?
Why?
Because
you first loved me.
Play a first verse, a little snippet.
Now I need you fellas to come on, sing with me. Come on. Yes. I do. Jesus. Why? Because you first loved me.
Yeah.
The Savior of the world. Let's sing. Come on. Yeah.
Jesus. Because you first loved me.
The Redeemer. Heavenly Father. Come on. Commandments are that we love each other as He's loved us. There's no greater love than the love of a man that will lay down his life on Calvary.
You opened your heart and took
He loved us.
I love you, Lord. Because you first loved me. Because you loved me. Brother Leon, come on. I love you. Jesus. Jesus. Yeah. Because you first loved me. See, you died on the cross. Why? So my soul wouldn't be lost. I love you, Lord. Yes, we do. Jesus. Because you first loved me. You took us in, Lord. You took me in. When we had nothing. When I was sinking deep inside, you opened your heart and took me in. I love you, Jesus. Because you first loved me.
That's hot. That's hot. I love that, bro. I love that. That's a hot single right there.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
So what's next, man? I mean, I like to know, how could the people pick it up, man? I mean, that's hot right there. You got to drop that.
Actually, what I'm doing now with this song, you can go to YouTube and you type in Because You, or you can type in Frank Leghee and just scroll down. I have on my playlist, it's Because and then the letter U.
Oh,
okay.
Type that in. Or if you type Because You, it probably should come up still.
Got you. That's a hot single, man. Congratulations on that.
I'm looking to interest the saints, the ain'ts, everybody in the knowing that Jesus loves God. Saints and ain'ts,
Saints and ain'ts. The saints and ain'ts. Don't we know? We know about that.
Hey, look, you guys are you guys fathers?
Oh yeah, I have kids.
Yes, sir.
First off, we want to say Happy Mother's Day coming up. This is Mother's Day weekend. You know, we ain't gonna get in trouble. We're gonna get in trouble now.
Yeah, we will get in trouble.
You know what I'm saying? So, I just want to say that if you knew that you could save the world by sacrificing your son, would you do it? This is what God did for us, because we were such wretched. We were doing crazy, like almost like, hello, what's going on right now? There's a lot of stuff going on now. God's getting tired. Right. Come on, He's got to like get our attention some kind of way.
That's right.
And what is happening? So this song, Because You, I did it during the time. I'm thinking Easter was coming. We were thinking about the crucifixion, the Redeemer,
right.
all that was going, resurrection. So I thought that it would be appropriate to push the song during the time of that, to just really magnify God's love for us.
That's right.
It's a love song to God saying thank you. You know, I love you because you first loved me. You know,
well, that's a great scene.
So
I mean, the title itself.
When I spoke to Leon about it, and then I told Alfreda is one she works with Gap Band and a few other people. She's
right. I'm familiar with them.
She did all of the vocals. She did all of all the female vocals. She did that in one session, just like bam. You know, I'm working with some really talented people, man. And then, as I said, this next one I'm working on, as a matter of fact, I want to do like about 4 songs. I don't want to do a full boring long LP and all that, because these days the kids are not listening to that. And I want to gear it to the kids as well as us. You know, I listened to Miss Battle. What's her name? Battle? Holy Ghost Power?
Lemmy Battles?
Lemmy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at it.
I know her very well.
Jay knows her very well.
That's the song she requested. Oh,
you know Lemmy Battles? You know Lemmy Battles personally?
I don't know her personally.
Yeah.
I know Neil Robertson. I know the Williams brothers.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
man.
JT know Miss Lemon Bottles personally.
Huh?
Yeah, that's my mom.
He knows her personally. That's his mom's.
Oh, that's your mom, man?
Yeah, that's my mom.
That's JT's mom.
Yeah, hold on. She's highly upset. I mean, she not upset. She don't know how to feel because this epidemic got her locked in the house. She normally out traveling, singing Holy Ghost Power, her singles and all her, her personal, all her songs on her CD, because she have a CD project she's pushing. and this thing got her locked in the house. I personally told her to get somewhere and sit down because you know she's up there in age, and well, you know what they say if you got ailing things wrong with you right now, you really could be exposed. So you know, I told her just chill out for a minute until things open back up. So,
that's the way you said it, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, if you already got problems,
she gonna get you.
Yeah, they say you gotta set it out for a while at least. You know, but can't nobody really predict how it's gonna go. I mean, they can only speculate.
Nope.
You know, so they only want to open things back up because money has become a factor now. So
thank you. Come on, man.
It's politics.
Finances over human body. Look at I got one kidney. I donated the kidney to my mother-in-law. I got one kidney. Oh, wow. I'm 68 years old. I work every day, and I go out. And what I do when I get done, know what I do? I go to Walmart with my mask and my gloves on. Go in there real quick, get out of there, and I come home. And I don't go nowhere else.
There you go. There you go.
That's why
tell the people how they go ahead.
The sales of webcams, mics, everything to stream at home. A lot of those sales has went up. I can't even find an iRig piece of equipment because of that. I went to Walmart looking for a webcam. They all sold out, and ain't no more coming for a while. So everything that you can do at home. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's because me and Sam, we had to convert to this way. At first, we was in the studio together in the radio booth, in the radio studio, doing interviews and doing shows and stuff. But you know, because of this, we streaming like this now. You know, because that's
we gotta stay 6 feet apart, social distance. This is part of our social distance.
Yeah. So who knows when it ends, man? Nobody really knows. So.
Hey, you know what though? This is something again. All my years I've lived my life, this is so new. But you know what? My wife again in Revelations, it's all in Revelations. This stuff is already pre-Dutch. It's no surprise to her. It's no surprise to me. But so what we have to do is understand that when God is doing what he's doing, he is doing it to help us to pay attention to our families, help us to pay attention that all the stuff we rushing to try to do, it don't mean nothing. Because guess what? That stuff still, the club's still out there. Everything's, church still, the building's still there. Now where we having church at?
At home, right. Streaming at home, yeah. So
look at it.
Right, exactly.
And so my wife used to pick at me, and because I love to look at TD Jakes or something like. Sometimes I don't make it to church because if I had a wedding or whatever the night before, I get in about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not trying to jump up and go to church at 9 o'clock, but I still want to get that word. So I go internet Baptist, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
You know.
Well, man. Well, it's been a great interview, and we definitely gonna have you on at a later time again. I just wanted to, bring you on today, and I appreciate you making the efforts to come on SAMC Radio. So we're gonna close it out with information on how people can find you on Facebook, Instagram, up your YouTube, and everything else that they can find you. And even the song will go by the song.
Okay.
Repeat that again for those that don't know or wasn't on the show watching. Let them know.
Yes. Just want to let you know also, the CD I do have for sale is called My Life, which is on iTunes, Apple Music, all of the outlets. You can just type Frank Leghee, My Life, and it'll come up.
How you spell Leghee for those that can't spell? Everybody can't spell.
L-E. Yeah. It's Legree. It's up there too.
Oh, right. You have it on your on your display name.
It's right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that the music that I did before, which again is gospel, but it's funk, but it's old school gospel. It's everything. This new music that I'm doing is this new offering. So just stay tuned. But you can go to YouTube for the new music. It's called Because of You on YouTube.
Okay. Now, what about your Facebook and Instagram? If you want them to follow you, how could they follow you?
Oh, that's Frank_Legree. Legree. That's Instagram. That's the IG page. On Twitter, it's at Frank Leghee, easy. And then if you're gonna go on Facebook, it's Frank Jerome Leghee or Frank Leghee. Either one of those. I've got 2 other pages which I don't want to confuse everybody with. Just do that one, and it'll segue you to the other pages.
Okay, that sounds like a plan, man.
Hey, look here.
Again, we appreciate
Sam,
you on Sam C. What is it? What'd you say?
I said we're just scratching the surface. There's so much more to that.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
In the Sam C radio, you ain't listening. You ain't listening. If you ain't listening to Sam C radio, you ain't listening. You ain't listening.